Guys, it's finally here. I'm finally doing a YouTube analytics video. Now, I do need to have a bit of a caveat here because when I first mapped out the plan for this video, it was gonna be like an hour and a half long. There was like 3 pages worth of notes on here, and usually my YouTube video notes fit into 1 page. So I knew there was gonna be a problem. So what I've decided to do is condense this video and focus on 3 key things that you can check and look for and measure the effectiveness of via YouTube analytics. So I'm going to focus on those things. I'm going to take you behind the scenes and show you how to check for those 3 things. So it won't be a complete masterclass in YouTube analytics, but if you are part of the Creators Club, then you will be able to get access to a complete masterclass of YouTube's analytics. I'm even going to do a live walkthrough of my own analytics, so everyone in the club can ask me questions about mine and they can basically navigate my analytics with me. So if you're part of the club, then don't worry, it's coming. If you're not part of the club and you don't know what I'm talking about, just head to the link in my description where you can find out more information. Let's get to it. Okay, so I picked these 3 things that we're going to focus on just based off of what I feel like people have the most trouble kind of measuring and understanding, and that's just based off comments that you guys leave, messages that you guys send me, right? So the first thing I'm going to focus on is search and your SEO. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. And for anyone who's not familiar with what that means in regards to YouTube, it's basically your ability to pick the right keywords for your videos, put them in the right places like your title and your descriptions, which is going to help you appear in YouTube search. So this is a really important thing that I wanted to make sure I included in here, because if you get good at YouTube search and optimizing your videos and using the right keywords, you're going to massively increase the chances of people seeing your videos. And it is basically your main tool for growing on YouTube, especially when you're small. That is the main thing that I used to kind of get my name out there and get people to look at my videos. It was getting really good at search. So I'm going to take you through how you could check the effectiveness of your SEO. Then I'm going to show you how you can check the effectiveness of your thumbnails. And then lastly, we're going to talk about how you can use your YouTube analytics to check if your audience are actually enjoying your content and, you know, how much of your content they actually watch. So if you don't know how to do any of those 3 things, or if you do know how to do those 3 things, and you just feel like getting a bit of a brush up on them, then stick with me because this video is going to be for you. Okay. So let's start with search and SEO. As promised, I'm going to take you to the back end of my YouTube. So this is my YouTube studio. Don't worry about this notification about a copyright claim. It has been solved and there's no longer a claim. Although it hasn't moved from my dashboard, which is a bit concerning. But when I click on it, it says it's solved. So there we go. Don't go out there thinking that I'm using music that I shouldn't be. I had the copyright, it was an error. So let's go to my analytics, which is down here. And then what I want to do is tap on the reach. Sorry, I just had to move my mic because I never know the best place to put it, but hopefully you guys can hear me fine. So if we go to the reach tab, we're going to have a look at things like my impressions, my click-through rate, my views, my unique viewers. Don't be alarmed that these 2 look like they're on the decline. It's just because last month I had a very good month and I had a few videos which really took off. So I'm still doing okay. Don't worry about me. So what I want you to do is to scroll down to your traffic source types, right? Because down here is where you're going to find out how majority of people are finding your videos. So here you can see that most people find my videos through browse features. So that is just when you log onto your YouTube and you see a bunch of videos on your home screen, that's the browse features. Second for me is YouTube search, which is what we're focusing on now. And then there's things like suggested videos and stuff like that. So I always say that what you want to be seeing at the top 2 is either your browse or your YouTube search, because if your YouTube search is up there, it means that your SEO and your keywords are probably quite good. And if your browse is up there, then it means that YouTube is promoting your content, because YouTube are in full control as to what gets displayed on browse features. So if your browse features are up there, then it means that YouTube have your backing and they're likely pushing your content out, which is great. That's what we all should be aiming for. Okay, so carry on scrolling. On the bottom right, you're going to see a little section what says traffic source YouTube search. This is what we want to focus on. If you want to click the see more button, it's going to open up the advanced version of your analytics. So just to show you, if you don't want to go to get to your advanced this way, you can also scroll to the top and click on advanced mode. But for now, we're going to click on down here and it's going to open up the advanced version. It's just advanced because it shows you way more data and it presents it in this graph format, right? So I actually spend majority of my time in the advanced section, and with everything, it's one of those things where the more time you spend in this area of your YouTube studio, like the more familiar you're going to become with it. So So what this is doing is showing me the key terms that my videos are appearing under on YouTube search. So what's great about this is that it shows you exactly how YouTube are categorizing your content, and it's going to show you whether or not your keywords that you're using are working. So for me, what's very good about this is Instagram, which is a very big keyword, is up there for me. So people will search Instagram and they'll find my videos. So that to me is like a 10 out of 10. Like, that's great for me to see that people are searching Instagram and my videos are coming up, because obviously that's one of the main topics that I speak about on this channel: social media, entrepreneurship, etc. So if we go down, there's also how much does YouTube pay, how much money do YouTubers make, how to become an influencer, and how to grow your YouTube channel. This is like music to my ears that these are the biggest ones, because they're varied and they cover a few of the different topics that I talk about. So you've got Instagram there, you've got YouTube there, you've got influencer, which is great because I talk a lot about influencing and content creation. For me, what I would love to start seeing is things like these keywords, so digital products to sell online. I'd love to have one of those in the top section of my most popular ones, or I'd love to have, I don't know, like more general entrepreneurship or business, online business keywords up there as well. But I'm working on that, and this to me is really reassuring. It's also really reassuring that actually my name is there, because that means that people are searching my name. That's so weird. That's so weird, isn't it? I mean, maybe it's not weird. I find that weird. Not weird in a bad way, just a bit odd. But that's also a good thing. So I want you to head to this section of your analytics. I want you to scroll down and have a look at the keywords that are appearing under your section, and ask yourself, do I want to be appearing under these keywords? Are there some keywords there which are in relation to a video that you did a really long time ago that, you know what, is a really good example of this? Catherine Manning, who I've spoken about a few times, she's like the OG of YouTube growth. She once spoke about how she had a video, I can't remember what the video was about now. There was a video that she had when she first started out which had no relevance to what she now talks about on YouTube, and she was getting a lot of views for that video, and that meant that on her search area she could see that actually one of the main keywords was something that was not related to her topic and her video content at all. So she actually removed that video, I think, or maybe she put it on private or something like that. So that's a good example of how you can use this section to figure out, okay, am I showing up under the right content themes here and the right keywords? And if you're not, ask yourself, is that because one particular video which is not related to the type of content that you want to be producing is driving a lot of your views? And there's no harm in just saying goodbye to those views and that AdSense and turning that video off or putting it in private if it's messing up your keywords. You want this section to be a true reflection of your account. Now, another thing that you can actually do to check the effectiveness of your keywords and your SEO, and it's something that I like to do on a regular basis, is to use TubeBuddy. I speak about TubeBuddy a lot because it is the only real tool that I use every single day to help me grow on YouTube. Like, I rely on it so much. I would not have been able to grow my channel as quickly as I did if I didn't have TubeBuddy. Like, I swear on my life. And there's a link in my description if you want to find out more about it. I have the pro version, which I recommend getting, but it's completely up to you. What I'm about to show you though is something that's available on the pro version. I'm not sure if it's available on the free. So what I'm basically going to do is jump on one of my previous videos. So I'm gonna click on this one and I'm gonna scroll down to the bottom. So I'm gonna scroll down to my tag section, and what you're going to see here is some numbers in green, and these numbers in green have been produced by TubeBuddy. So if you don't have TubeBuddy and you've not installed it on your Chrome as an add-on, you won't see this feature, right? But what these numbers represent is my search ranking for these keywords and these tags. So here it says that under new Instagram update, my video is second. Instagram new update 2021, it's second. New Instagram features, it's first. This is a very good video. New Instagram changes, it's first. New Instagram update, it's second. Instagram changes, it's ninth. So you can see here that I am placing super high under some of these keywords, which is incredible. Like, this is the aim of your search engine optimization. It's the purpose of you using keywords. And the reason why I'm able to rank so highly on these is because I've used TubeBuddy to figure out which keywords to use. And I've done things like included these keywords in my title. So here you can see new Instagram features 2021, new Instagram update, etc. And then here you can see more of the keywords. Can you see them here in my description? I'm just loading this video with as many keywords as I possibly can. And that's the reason why I've been able to rank really highly. I've gotten super specific about which keywords I'm using. So I know this isn't a tutorial as to how to actually do YouTube search, but I wanted to show you another way for you to check the effectiveness of your search and your SEO. Okay, so let's move on to your thumbnails. So your thumbnails are super important. I like to call your thumbnails adverts for your videos. If you are really good at search and you've optimized your videos well, and now it's appearing under these really great search terms, if you're not getting people to click on your video, then it doesn't really mean anything, right? And the main way to get people to click on your video is through thumbnails. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to my analytics again, we're gonna go back on reach. On the right corner here, you can see this box which says impressions and how they led to watch time. So this is basically your funnel, and what it does is at the top of the funnel, it shows you how many impressions your videos are getting. So 2.9 million impressions, 69.4%, let's just call it 70% from YouTube recommending your content, which is very high. I'm very pleased with that. And then what you want to look at here is your click-through rate. So here it says that my click-through rate is 3.6%. And the reason why that's part of the funnel is because at the top, your videos getting impressions, people are seeing your videos, then people are clicking on your videos, and then people are watching your videos, right? And then at the bottom, that all translates to watch hours. So let's always remember that at the top right-hand corner, I've got the default date setting of 28 days. So this is all relevant to the past 28 days of my channel. So what I'm going to do to dive deep into my click-through rate is I'm going to click on advanced mode on the top right-hand corner. And then I'm going to click on, here it says views by video, which is great. So you've got all your videos down here. But then as a secondary metric, I'm going to click here and I'm going to click on impressions click-through rate. Right? So what I've done here is basically sorted all of my videos based on the click-through rate. So here I can see my top performing videos based on the clicks. And what this does is allow you to look at which videos and therefore which thumbnails are getting the most clicks and see if there's any similarities there. So at the top, I've got my video on how to fix a dead Instagram account. Now, my thumbnail literally says, is your Instagram account dead? I'm not surprised that that's got a very good click-through rate, right? I've got a really attention-grabbing headline on my thumbnail. The second one, hashtags are changing. Again, I'm also not surprised that this has a very good click-through rate, because if I saw that, I'd be like, what? Hashtags are changing again? Tell me more. So that's why that video's got a good click-through rate. Here, again, it says hack the algorithm. Do you know what? I've not looked at these in a while, and it's making me rethink a lot of the thumbnails that I've used recently. I need to get a lot more punchy with them. You know, and there's nothing wrong with getting really punchy with what you're including in your thumbnails and using, you know, some copy which really grabs people's attention, as long as you're delivering. So I only think things are clickbait when you're not really delivering on what you're promising. So if you're saying like, find out how I made £1 million in one day, and then you're not actually telling people how you made £1 million in one day, you're giving them some fluffy advice, then that's clickbait and you shouldn't do that. But in these videos, I am actually telling you how you can hack the algorithm. I am telling you about hashtags updates, and I'm actually telling you how to fix your Instagram account. So therefore, I feel like I'm delivering, but you can clearly see the similarities that these thumbnails have and how they've resulted in me having a good click-through rate. At the bottom here, the ones with the worst click-through rate, these are some bad click-through rates. So we'll have a look here. Be more confident on camera has a really bad click-through rate. Maybe those people are just really confident on camera already. Buy and manage inventory. Like, what a boring video and what a boring thumbnail. And I'm not surprised that that has a bad click-through rate. Instagram is changing. Now, I think this one has a bad click-through rate because when I released this video, it was when the really big announcement came out that it was no longer going to be just a photo sharing app, and it was actually going to be focusing more on video content. And when that update came out and I released that video, this video got 10,000 views in one day, and the click-through rate was like through the roof, but it very much did this. Like, I got about 70,000 views on that video over the space of about 6 weeks, and then it completely fell off because it was old news. So I'm not surprised that that has a bit of a lower click-through rate. But hopefully by you doing this process, you'll become more familiar with the types of thumbnails that are driving clicks for you and your channel. And you can start to take those learnings into your future thumbnails, which is something that I'm going to do now following this whole activity. All right, let's move on to audience retention. And audience retention essentially means how long you are able to retain your audience on your video. Like, how long are they watching your video for? And the reason why I wanted to include this is because we've spoken about search and therefore I'm doing this because this is a funnel again. So we've spoken about search and getting loads of people to actually see your videos. And then we spoke about your thumbnails, so getting those people to click on your thumbnails. And then now we're talking about how many of those people are actually going to stay on your content and watch it for longer. There's actually a few more steps of this funnel process, because realistically, once you get to retaining people, you also want to get them to engage with your content, and then you want to basically turn them into channel advocates. And that whole process of getting impressions, getting clicks, retaining your audience, getting engagement, and then turning them into an advocate, I like to call your YouTube growth map. And if you want more information on that, I have just recorded like a 45-minute masterclass where I dive deep into that entire process, and I've uploaded it and made it available to all members of the Creators Club. So If that sounds of interest to you, and also if you're just a content creator who's trying to land more brand partnerships, make more money online, etc., then I really feel like you'd love the club. So check it out, there'll be a link below. So let's talk about audience retention, right? What we're going to do is head back into my analytics, of course. We're going to head to engagement. Now, what you're going to see here is two key metrics. You're going to see your watch hours, and then you're going to see your average view duration. Mine is 6 minutes, which I'm very proud of. Please bear in mind that your average view duration is going to massively differ depending on how long your videos are. So there's no point you comparing your average view time duration, whether it's like 10 minutes or whether it's 2 minutes, to mine, because our videos are probably completely different lengths. So average view duration won't mean the same thing for everyone. For me, that is really good because my videos tend to vary between about 8 minutes to 20 minutes. So I'm really happy with that. What you want to focus on instead, which is going to be a lot more universal, is this number down here. So if we scroll down, what we're going to see is a list of our videos ordered based on audience retention, okay? And I really love this section. So what it's going to show you is your top 5 videos, right, which have above typical intros. So the top 5 videos which have managed to retain people really quickly from the intro straight away. And then ones which didn't do that and everyone dropped off the second they started hearing you talking. And on the right here, you've got the percentage of people who are still watching after 30 seconds. So here on this video, you've got 78% of people are still watching after 30 seconds, which is pretty impressive, right? Well, I mean, for me, you might have far better analytics than that. But for me, I'm pretty proud of it. What this section is really good at is helping you figure out, okay, how should I be starting my videos to get people to watch them for longer? Because these videos here, I'm doing something at the start, which is getting people to stay on the videos for longer. And I'm willing to bet you money that what I'm doing is getting to the point really quick. And even though I know that's the best way to retain people, I still struggle to do that sometimes. But I generally try to get to the point and start delivering value in my content within like 30 seconds to a minute of my video starting. And on the occasions when I do actually manage to achieve that, those are the times when I manage to retain people on my video for longer. So that's what this is really useful for. And if you're wondering what this graph is in the bottom right hand corner, this is your retention line. So this is literally the amount of people who have stayed on your video the whole way through. So here you can see that people will always drop off in the first 30 seconds. Like, don't worry. It's very unlikely you're going to post a video where everyone who clicks on it stays on it the whole time. But here you can see, you know, where people picks back up. So these are usually chapters, and where people dropped off. And I'm really proud of this as well, because here you actually have people on my video until almost the very, very end. Whereas here's a bit different. Here you can see that clearly I got to 5 minutes 26 in this video and people felt like they had all the value they needed, so people started to drop off. So there you can see that I didn't wrap things up as quickly as I should have. So if you click on this video here, which is one of the videos which have a below typical intro, what's interesting is this whole video has this pattern of people picking up at certain points, dropping off, picking up, dropping off, picking up, dropping off. And the reason why they're doing this is because of the nature of the video. This video is about new Instagram features. So what they're doing is jumping and using my chapters to jump to the next feature so they can hear what the feature is, jump to the next one so they can hear what the feature is, and then do that. So they're not listening to me explain the feature and how it should be used or anything like that. They just want to hear what the new feature is, which is fine. People don't have, you know, loads of time on their hands all the time. And that's why I put chapters in so people can do that. So it's just about learning how to read this section, read your graphs, and taking some learnings from this and using it to inform your next video. So whether that be your intro or whether that be you using chapters or you not using chapters, whatever that conclusion will be for your channel, try and use your analytics to try and get to that place. Okay, that is it for today's video. I really hope you found that useful. If you did, I recommend checking out this video. Do you know what? I still don't know what side I do that on. I don't even think I think it's this one. Anyway, it's all about how I became a full-time content creator in under 12 months. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll see you in the next video.